So you want to main Diana. Well, do you like snowballing? Do you like the moon? Do you hate the sun? Do you like being really mean? And do you like being a real, true, pure, unadulterated fucking heretic? Then Diana, the scorn of the moon, is for you. I'm gonna kill this turret in the name of the moon.
I need to do it, dude.
So basically what I'm saying is I'm gonna show it my ass. So Diana's lore is very simple. She was born and shortly after orphaned on Mount Targon. Taken in by the Solari, she was raised under the care of their people and taught to praise the sun. But of course, being a filthy fucking heretic, she questioned her elders' teachings and was quite the nuisance in class. One day, when sweeping the library for being a goddamn heretic, she saw a struggling old woman climbing the mountain. It was forbidden to help the old lady for some reason, but she did it anyway and helped her to the top of the mountain a lot faster than it probably should have taken. Then the old lady was just kind of gone, and in front of her stood this massive spectrum of moonlight and color and all this crazy shit. And she stepped into this, and then boom! Moon powers. Coming down the mountain, she found a chamber with the iconic crescent sword and armor she wears today. When she arrived back at the Solari, she told them everything she knew and learned about the moon, old history, and blah 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 blah. She basically told them everything that she learned in these books and her visions, and then they of course deemed her as a heretic and sentenced her to death. But instead, she went out and killed pretty much everyone in the room with the exception of Leona and got the fuck out of there. So now she's trying to piece together all of this Lunari, which is the moon people, thoughts in her mind while being hunted by the Solari and, of course, most importantly, Leona, who is hell-bent on killing that heretic. In-game Diana is a heretic.
Too late, heretic.
Sorry, I play a lot of Warhammer, alright? I'm not a fan of this heresy thing, but now being a Dark Souls fan, heresy against the gloriously incandescent sun is even more filthy. But in all honesty, Diana is a pretty good champion. She is well made, fun, interesting, and I personally think is an excellent spot in League at the moment. She acts as a melee AP assassin, with her primary focus being obliterating one target at a time, and doing so rather quickly. She has a lot of burst if built one way, and an incredible amount of sustained damage if built another. She then snowballs extremely hard, which is then offset by what I wouldn't call a bad laning phase, but rather that being the time of the game she struggles the most in. She also can be played in 3 lanes, being top, jungle, and mid. Jungle is in a lane, but you get what I mean. It can be quite effective in all 3, making her a very versatile champion for many situations. There's just one thing you need to do and remember when playing Diana, and that is to bind your laugh key to one of your abilities, most preferably your Q. You have like this Darius style laugh and it's pretty tilting. So Diana's passive is an original passive, just kidding. You permanently gain 20% bonus attack speed and every third auto attack cleaves in an area in front of you. Damage is based on AP and level, and here is some 3-hit math. This is the ability that makes Diana work as an AP melee assassin. Your first 2 auto attacks are unchanged, but your third one will do a very high damage cleave, which helps with early game farming, trades, and even harassment if you do that Jax thing where you auto twice then go in for the third smack. Diana's Q is strange hitboxes. Where'd he go?
He's over there.
Nailed it. You fire a crescent projectile. It deals magic damage to all that it hits, marks them with moonlight for 3 seconds, and grants sight of them during the duration. Here's some moon math. Crescent Strike is this really normal spell that has one of the most abnormal skill shot paths in the game. It's this weird crescent line with an AoE circle at the end of it that you need to practice a lot to land it, and you need to learn a lot to dodge it. Besides the strange arc, the moonlight doesn't really come into effect until your ultimate and doesn't reveal you if you're stealth, so let's move on. Diana's W is Bob Ross's Happy Little Moons. You summon 3 orbs circling Diana, and shields herself based on her AP. The orbs deal damage on contact, and if all 3 hit, the original shield is added again. The damage is also based off of AP, and here are some cascading math. Diana's W is actually pretty good. It's like your survivability move when you go all in, and the damage really should not be underestimated either. It's not as crazy of a shield like Echo can get, but it's instantaneous and almost deters enemies from fighting you because they know it's going to not only refresh, but do a ton of damage on them in the process. It's also a nice little spell to grab last minute CS if you're terrible like me. Your E is Nope. Draws all nearby enemies to you, also reveals them all and slows them for 2 seconds afterwards. That's it. I call it Nope because it's the spell you use when an enemy's trying to run away. You just kind of yoink them back to you immediately. If they try and use any spells to run away or fly away or dash away, this just drags them right back in and applies that 2-second slow. Also, the drag is a tiny little knock-up, so if you're a Yasuo player, you better be smashing that R key. Finally, Diana's ultimate is Swiggity Swiggity Fuck the Sun.
The other one will follow soon.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What have you done?
Any wards that I should know about, Bricky? Or not Bricky?
There's a couple, but you should be fine.
Oh
There's
my,
the other one.
Did no one watch that? Not a single person.
I
watched
saw
that?
it. It was cool.
That's
I mean,
it? It felt really cool.
No view.
You dash to your target, you deal magic damage, and if you hit a Q marked target, the cooldown refreshes. It debuffs all other moonlit targets, and here is some dashing math. Your ult is really simple actually. You do your dash, and if the target has a Q debuff, the cooldown is reset. This actually doesn't do much damage on its own, but it's the fact that you've arrived at your target that means the most. This helps you not only stick to the target, but with your passive, W and E to follow up, and another ultimate if needed, it really helps you get that AP melee assassin power that Diana is known for. So skill max, I go Q, W, E, however I always start W in lane to help against level 1 harassment. But anyway, Q first because most damage and the lower cooldown means more free ultimates, W second for a larger shield and more damage, and E last because it's a utility spell. But how do I play Diana? Diana is a heretic. Okay, sorry, last time, I promise last time. Diana is a very solid champion. When she was released, she looked something like this. See? Broken. She used to be insane, and she can still be insane because her snowball potential is massive. If you're smart in the early game and you get maybe a nice kill or two or a good roam post level 6, you are now the strongest champ in this match, and it is truly terrifying to watch a fed Diana land a Q on you and you realize, well, this is how I die. It's fitting to the character too, because watching this bolts of moonlight fly towards you is very reminiscent of her lore when she fucked up all the elders with Leona in the room. That's the scary part of Diana, is that a good Dianic player will very rarely ult unless they have Moonlight on you. Now sometimes they'll double ults to get a lot of burst in, but generally, because her Q is such a low cooldown and has way less amount of time than her ultimate does when it's on cooldown, they might as well only ult when they have the debuff. Problem is, that hinges a lot of her damage on landing that Q, which is what makes fighting a fed Diana so terrifying. Now when I see a fed Diana and they throw out a Q on me, I will do everything in my power to get away from that Q, because as soon as it lands, it will be my death. And that is what makes Diana so fun to play. AP assassins are always terrifying, and she is no exception. But now, let's discuss how to make big dick plays. Early game is all about staying safe, as is your hardest point in the game. You mainly just want to farm with your passive and harass with your Q. If your enemy laner is melee, then you should have a much easier time, but if they're ranged, you need to stay safe. If you need it, you could always go to your jungler's raptors and kill the little ones with a quick Q and third auto attack combo, but only do that if your jungler isn't an AFK jungle farming Master Yi main with the radioactivity of the Fallout series. Mid game is your best point. You've hit a very nice power spike here, and it really depends on if you're snowballing or not. If you're behind, just doing damage to tanks and frontliners really isn't a bad decision. If you can blow up squishies, have at it, but if your team is not doing so hot, choose your targets carefully. If you're ahead, just blow up everybody. Few people can match mid-game Diana snowball damage, and you can crush all squishies as you feel like it. It also helps you take objectives like Dragon and Herald, since you can just turn on your enemies in the blink of an eye. Late game is a bit tougher than mid game. Your burst is still insane and is at its strongest point, but that also probably means that the enemy team has built some items to stop your power. In that case, you just need to flank, get picks, or be very careful on how you go in. You're going to be on their back line 90% of the time, and if your team doesn't follow you, then you're going to die very fast. Unless you bought a Zonias or something of that nature. Basically just stick and kill the enemy squishies and hope their frontline doesn't turn to fight you and are more preoccupied with your team. When it comes to builds on Diana, I run Thunderlord's Masteries along with AP and Magic Penetration runes. For builds, I have two on the screen. One is a high burst build and the other is a more long-term battle Diana build. Diana's counters are based on how good the Diana player is, but champs like Swain, Vladimir, and Mordekaiser are great against her. I'm not going to mention why Swain and Vlad are good against her, because Swain and Vlad are pretty crazy right now. But for Mordekaiser, he relies a ton on close range damage like Diana, but he stacks a shield up when he does it, so that's very, very spooky. The skins we have for Diana are Birds of a Diana, and I don't have a joke for this one. It's like flowers and floating and shit. I don't know, man. And the hottest Diana skin. Finally, let's wrap up Diana. She is a well-designed, well-voice acted, and at the current moment, a rather well-balanced champion. She's an AP melee assassin with high snowball potential that clenches many butts when she lands her Q, and a skilled Diana player can certainly crush games with her, and those who don't understand the champion won't be able to do shit. She's a ton of fun to play and is very versatile, and if you haven't played her, I would suggest you do. Now before I go, here are the usual Diana clips. Enjoy.
Yeah, push this, dude. I'm just fucking with this guy now.
Please! No! Oh, damn, I clenched really hard right there.
Yeah, tell me how hard.
Like, really hard.
I got him. It's fine. It's fine, dude. It's fine. You know why? Because I am Ezreal. Hear me fucking roar.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
No way.
I heard the roar.
I only do what Bricky
I think I
wants
can
me
get
to
it
do.
by
Bricky, what do you
myself.
want me to do, Bricky?
But it's Paquito's birthday.
Yeah, it's Paquito's birthday. You know what? You know what? Here. Go in first so you can tank it for me. Fantastic,
Did it for you,
gentlemen.
dude.
Good job.
Yeah, dude.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm chewing on saltwater taffy right now, so my voice is weird, but how is Karma getting away with the name fucking fuck?
Oh shit.
Fifi's gonna head up there.
4,
I got an
3.
assist.
2, 1.
Blast off. She blasted off.
Shut up, you.
Fifi's missing.
Thank you everybody for watching my So You Want to Main Diana video. If this guy got you a challenger, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to watch my most recent So You Want to Main on my favorite champion, Syndra, I would love you forever. Until next time, my name has been Bricky, and please do not fuck up my rank games. Bye-bye.